Fun fact: the whole human body replaces all of its cells every 7 to 10 years. So you become a whole new you, whether you like it or not.
Oh, that's great. Well, my fun fact for today is there's actually more caffeine in a cup of coffee than there is in espresso. Boom. Boom. That's the next time you buy an espresso. I would buy a Vietnamese coffee because that thing.
Yep.
will
It's
last
all a
you
marketing
the whole
ploy.
day. I think that thing has more coffee and everything.
The, yeah. Vietnamese coffee is pretty potent. You can try it for yourself at
It's
least
very
once. You will like it more than espresso too.
I can stay up for like a whole day. 24 hours. I'll be up awake.
What's the,
If you're doing the project.
what coffee is actually the strong? Did you feel was the strongest that you ever drank?
A Vietnamese coffee.
Vietnamese coffee.
Yeah, it's a Vietnamese coffee.
Mine's was definitely.
I mean,
I don't know if it. I don't know if it's actually true if it has more caffeine or not. But this thing hit me like a ton of bricks. It was the. It was Kyoto Coffee at Blue Bottle Coffee, and it was the first time I had Blue Bottle, and I drank it at, say, 1:32 in the afternoon. I could not sleep until 4:30 a.m. I don't know what it was, but my body would just not go to sleep.
do you drink
Or maybe I was horny. I don't know.
drink a black creamy sugar? No.
No, I drink them black, pretty much. Vietnamese coffee is probably the only coffee that I really truly take with cream. I do add creamer from time to time, but it's just more of a novelty thing.
Yeah, I can't because you already know I'm lactose intolerant. I let everyone know I'm lactose intolerant.
So if any girl sleeps with Walker, don't present him any titties because he's lactose.
Please, I'm lactose. But there are some exceptions. All right, there are some exceptions. As long as I'm at home, I'm fine. I'll eat it.
Yeah, don't give any don't give any titty milk to Cola.
All right, so what's new?
Yeah. Nothing new. Just waiting through the days, hearing a lot of crazy things about EDD and all this other stuff going on with the pandemic. And crazy Karens out there. My God. Jesus Christ, man. There's... Oh, yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just like a sudden explosion of just craziness.
It's because everyone has cameras now, so you can actually record the bullshit.
Yeah.
I remember getting interviews.
The craziest one I heard right now was just the one where the Karen just peed in a Verizon wireless store. I don't know why. That was one of the most unprompted things that could have ever happened. I don't know if it was for fame or if it's for just trying to divert people's attention to something else. Cause,
actually, didn't she?
It really worked.
Didn't someone call the police on her and found out that she was stealing from a Target? It was like all the merchandise was in the back.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, it was just like she stole a whole bunch of shit from a bunch of other neighboring stores, and chances are this Verizon store was on her hit list.
So there were some crazy intentions because
my bad. I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
Attention for her, so she can do other things. Got it.
I feel like that's the case. Like maybe she just wanted maybe she was just gonna pee in a corner and just be like, go clean that, and then just run and go take some phones.
Anyways, speaking of doing brave things, speaking of taking the piss out of Verizon store, what have you done anything brave in your life?
Well, I mean, there was that time you finished eating ass and hung out with me afterwards, and I shared a drink with you. I thought that was pretty brave. You told me you were clean, but I saw the black stains on your teeth. But that was a delicious Cosmopolitan. I finished it anyway.
I do like.
I was thirsty that day.
Anyways.
Yeah, there are plenty of times when I came across whether or not I really couldn't tell if I was being stupid or brave. Let's just say that.
Oh, it's probably a combination of both.
I'm very certain.
I've been committed of like I've done some like drunk brave stuff.
Now, were the only times you were brave because you were drunk?
Of course, I was like, you know what? I think it's because.
You know what? I'm gonna eat that ass. All right.
Because you don't think of the consequences when you're intoxicated. It's like when you're young too. You do it because you probably don't know any better out of ignorance, so you do it anyways, and then you find out later that it hurts. But I know, like in my old age, like I'm not brave enough to do a lot of certain things I would have done when I was younger. But sorry.
I used to ride my motorcycle out in the rain. In the heavy rain, that was like that felt crazy to me because when I was riding. I definitely hydroplaned, like... and because I'm broke, I'm not paying for a subway. All right, I'm going to school, but that's pretty much what I had in my mind.
Consequences
and it's not brave. It was definitely stupid.
No, you weren't thinking about it.
I would fail my class was my consequence. I would fail my class and I would be in debt if I spent more money than I should. And that is clear to me. That's a clear definition between stupid and brave because the consequences definitely outweigh the benefits. So, but when you're young and kind of just desperate to kind of make things work, you do some crazy things. Even when you're older too, it's impressive in some ways how much you're gonna commit.
Shoot, I think probably the bravest thing is like I remember I used to walk around in the most dangerous neighborhoods when I was younger at night. Trying to get home, right? Holy shit! Mm-hmm. I remember having to walk from Berkeley all the way to Oakland. It's like a 3-hour night thing. Oh my god! 3-hour night. Berkeley all the way to Oakland. That's like almost like maybe Oakland. 10 miles.
I think I did that one time.
Wait, you didn't? Night. Oh, you didn't have a car or anything?
It wasn't because I was being brave.
Oh.
No, I actually got upset that night. So I was just like, fucking leave me alone. And
what were you? Were you in Oakland? Like, were you in Berkeley?
And then, like, next thing I knew, I was in Oakland. I was like, oh shit. I was in Berkeley. Yeah, but I was definitely young at the time. And as I was experiencing all that, I was like, man, that's crazy. I feel you, man. Like, just to experience that. If you did that regularly, my God.
It was basically, it was like late. No, it was late night, and there was no public transportation. Right. That was going. So you know what? I need to get out of here. I need to go walk through nowhere. There's some crazy times where I hear people screaming from out like, "Hey, you want to come over here?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going over there. Think I'm stupid?" So yeah. So try to avoid all this stuff. So yeah. Yeah. That night, like, making me think about, like,
I think that's how Batman
so
started
many prostitutes and stuff like that. And it's like,
he
Bat Cola. But yeah,
Bat Cola.
Would I do it now? Yeah, I would still do it. I would still do that stuff.
It just makes me think if Batman got drunk, like,
he
around
wants
friends,
to fight everybody,
around like his regular drinking friends, like, I wonder if his Batman persona would slip out. You know.
Now would he leave? Come here now.
Like, what the fuck you say? Like, I wanted a Cosmopolitan. Or he would forget to take one piece of it off, so he'd show up in a regular shirt with the bat mask. Like, what's his name? Goose Wayne. Yeah. So was that the time? Is that the time when you felt like the bravest?
No, I've done that a few times. Not, I wouldn't say no. I think the first time I did it was probably the bravest. So, and I was in high school. I was like 17 at the time. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get robbed and everything. But no, I think the first time I felt brave, it was in middle school. We had I've gone to the library and met up with some friends, and they rode their bikes to the library. I walked, obviously. And so as we were like walking out, some older kids wanted to rob us of our bikes, and my friend like handed the bike to him. I was like, no, and I just grabbed the bike. I stepped up and grabbed the bike from the handle and the seat. I was like, no, we're not giving you. My friend was getting robbed, and my friend handed him the bike.
Wait.
I was like, no, you're not gonna hand him the bike. And I grabbed the handle in the seat and I yanked it back, knowing that this kid was a lot bigger than me, right? I grabbed it. It's like, no, you're not taking this bike. And then the kid just like punches me in the face. So it's like a sucker punch, and I still held on to that bike. And it's like, no, you're not gonna grab this bike. And then luckily, the librarian saw what was going on, and she like ran out to help us. But yeah, I got socked twice, and I think I didn't start crying until after they left, and I just sat there and I just cried by myself. I was like, why did I do that, man? I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna stand for these righteous ass bullshit. I'm like, fuck.
No,
and then the kids that I was like,
it's funny.
I was like, man, I should have let these kids get robbed to teach them a lesson. But it wasn't. The thing is, like, it wasn't even mine. It wasn't even. I should have let them get robbed. Right. But like, why did I have to do that to endanger myself like that? But it's like, the thing is, like, you can't. The thing is, like, growing up in the neighborhood, like I grew up, I was definitely the hood, and the thing is, like, you can't like let these things fly, right? You can't let it fly like that, because they're gonna keep on doing that to you if they see you again. These kids are probably the same kids in the neighborhood, right? They see that you let something go, and then they're gonna keep on doing it. So that was my whole attitude when I was growing up doing it. It's like, yeah. I mean, I was definitely fighting my way through my whole life through with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely like, fighting my way through when I was younger. It was a constant fight. So yeah, I think that's when I felt the most brave. It's like standing up for other people when I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Similar story.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, funny enough, I have a very, very, very similar story. But it was actually when I was mountain biking with a friend for the first time in 7th grade, so I did not know what to expect. But it was just at the end of the trip, we took the trail was, I thought it was just going to be like a 5-10 mile trail, but it was like 14-mile one. So we started at, this was in 7th grade, man. We started at like 8 in the morning, and we didn't finish until maybe 2 in the afternoon. And my friend, he didn't know the directions too well, but he took a wrong turn, and we ended up like somewhere entirely different. And so I had no concept of mountain biking. So my bike was a regular kid's bike, while my friend actually had the mountain bike. So I was pushing really hard on all the inclines and stuff because I didn't have gears on my bike.
That's the first thing. You never.
I was like tired.
First lesson was like you never had a conversation with random strangers. Like forget it. They're gonna take advantage of you. They're sizing you up.
When we took that wrong turn, we ended up in a neighborhood that he wasn't familiar with. And then next thing you know, there's this like gang. There was this gang that just came up on us, and he was trying to. They were talking to my friend, and yeah. So they're basically coercing them. I was young, so I couldn't really assess the situation properly. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, just, there's a bunch of bigger guys. Like, they're clearly older than 16. And they're just coming up on my friend. I'm like, do you know these guys? And he's like, no. And I was just like, okay, then we're out of here. And they were pretty much stopping him because they were trying to take his bike. And so they were coercing him, and I'm just like, you know what, just, like, I went up to them, I was like, you know what, just freaking leave us alone, dude. Like, God, we don't have time for your ass. And so next thing you know, one of them pushes my friend off his bike and tries to ride off with it. I jumped without really thinking. I grabbed onto the wheel, and then next thing you know, it was a bunch of guys are just piling on me and just like punching me in the back of the head. And I didn't realize until afterwards that I was like kind of bleeding-ish. But there was an old lady that saw everything, and she was yelling at the guys, and they all walked away. And luckily, they didn't take the bike. But I remember just sitting there, and I was just like, I think I was just more mad about. I was just more mad that, like, I couldn't do more about it. Like, I couldn't fix the situation, or I couldn't fight them off like I had hoped. But it was just,
yeah.
At the end of it, yeah, I ended up going home, and I started crying about it too, because.
Probably jumping off a cliff.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I have no idea what happened, and it was like the first time I've encountered something like this. So, the cliff was, like, I don't know how to process
6 stories.
But,
yeah, it's like, you know what? I was like,
that time I kind of felt like I was being brave about it, but at the same time, it's just,
I was like, I'm just gonna do it, dude.
I think I measured it up more to the fact that
I think I was like
wasn't
maybe
resolved
20,
by me
26,
taking that
27
action.
at the time. But yeah, this is like in
yeah.
this is like there was like on it was like a wedding in Jamaica, so we went to this cliff thing, and I saw people doing it.
How high is the cliff?
I can do this. It took me a couple times to convince myself to do it, and I ended up like just like a lot of peer pressure from other people. Oh, I'll do it. I was the only one that did it. Just know that. By the end of the day, I was the only one that did it. I was like, oh my god, you're not gonna jump off the cliff.
Oh.
No, that was
last week, Cola.
Because you have to jump away from the side of thing, because it's like jump a little bit, but yeah, we got to jump out all the way. But yeah, I remember doing it too. It's like the first time I hit, boom, the first thing it hit was my balls, and that's the only thing that hurt. Oh my god. And the other reason why is like a lot of people in the group didn't know how to swim. That's why I didn't want to do it.
You should have.
Yeah, that was the other part of it. That was the other factor.
You should have stood at the end of the cliff with them, right. And then when you jump, you just grab onto them and pull them with you.
I did it. I actually have video of it. I did it.
Right. You had to do a full-on like long jump off the. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there was one time I was in Hawaii. We went to this beach area.
It hit so hard they flew up to your chin.
This one was like only like 6 feet, right? I was still nervous about it, and then somebody just pushed me right into the water, and I was like, boom, right into.
Well, that's a pretty dumb excuse.
So I could have easily just stuck my foot out and just been in the water, but no, it's like someone just pushed me right over. The crazy thing is like if that does happen, you got to go with it. You can't hesitate. If you hesitate, you're gonna hit that edge.
I'm just picturing like
of that water. You just gotta go. Like, if it happens, you gotta jump out for it. You can't.
You lying bitches!
Yeah, belly flop. No, it was a different time. But I heard it like a month. I was like, it's water. It's not gonna hurt. Yeah, it hurts a lot. Mm-hmm. It hurts a lot. Can you swim?
Wait, like 6 feet from the water?
Can you swim?
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Just fall forward. Just fall forward like. You ever belly flopped into it? Yeah. Was it that time that you belly flopped? Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. If it's a rough tide, I'll definitely have a hard time. When I went to Southeast Asia, there were some places with some rip currents, so you had to be really careful. And with those, for those of you that don't know, like, it is essential any time in your life to learn to swim. You need those lessons. You need to at least know the basics on how to float and how to wade in the water. Because the thing is, you don't know how much the water actually tires you out just from being in it. and trying to keep yourself afloat. And there's definitely a lot of wasted energy. I only knew the basics. And they somehow got me through it, but it was scary because sometimes I swam a little bit too far out, so the rip currents were kind of preventing me from coming back. So like the more you struggle, the more you struggle, the more energy you wasted, and you have to figure out ways to preserve your energy and preserve calm breathing. Because if you breathe too heavily, you waste even more energy like that too.
When you felt a little brave.
Where you're just like, and you realize you get a lot more tired. But luckily, I found my groove, and then I was able to swim back. But it's definitely scary. So whenever you do things like that, just make sure you do know the basics, or make sure that you're around someone who can help you out when bad things happen. And the same thing happened with my wife and I in Hawaii. When we went snorkeling, she definitely had a tough time in the water. So I had luckily I was there to hold her hand while I was swimming, and guide her through it, and then we actually had a way better time like that. But, yeah, definitely learn how to swim. Like, even if you're never going to use it, you'll never know when you have to come across a situation. Let's see. Standing up to a bully in class when a friend of mine was being bullied. I mean, that would be my other thing. But basically, mines have to do with just bad culture-ish type of deals. But just because I had a Vietnamese friend. He was not well versed in the ways of standing up for himself, and it was clear to this particular bully, and he used that as an advantage to talk shit, make him feel bad, and then try to push him around constantly. And watching it just really, really, really pissed me off, because it's just literally the idea of someone else who thinks they can take advantage of someone who can't fight back. And I remember he made my friend cry in front of my middle school class, and no one was doing anything for this person. And I was just like, are you fucking serious? And I just got really mad. And I just started calling the dude out. I was like, hey! And then, yeah, I just got really mad at that point. I don't know what came over me, but I just yelled back at him, and and at that point, I found out that I'm terrible at yelling back at someone, or I'm terrible at talking shit back at someone. Because, yeah, it wasn't even like that. It's just like, it's like, bitch, I'll knock you out. It's like, all right, fine. I'll take you to jail with me. I would come up with weird insults like that. I did not know what to say. I was like, I just became really flabbergasted about it, but it was more the idea that I didn't like someone being picked on, not having the power to stand up for themselves, and no one helping them. I really hated that. And the teacher was not far off from this, but they were actually watching the argument transpire, and it's just like, you're not even gonna fucking do anything about this. I won't jump off that cliff, but I want you. Fuck you, bitch. Yeah. I think at that point I kind of learned that, I really have to step up my game in terms of just standing up.
The air against, I couldn't even scream at the fear was in me.
Like that.
And I did it again.
Because there's so many people now too that can't speak up for themselves. The only way they feel they can, and this is just my speculation, if I'm offending anyone by this, sorry, it's just how I perceive it.
That's our
just
show for today.
What I've noticed is no one wants to say anything until they have like some sort of backing behind it. Like a whole group has to say something
because
before one person speaks their mind.
Right?
And I think that's a shame.
People.
Because it's just...
I'm a more people.
Like, it forces people not to think for themselves. And...